I'm just getting over whatever I've had. On my right, I have Naomi, and on my left, I have Keith. Well, the home and away season's finished, Keith.
Yes.
Been a great year.
Yeah,
I want to make a really good summation of the home and away.
Oh no, it's been a very interesting year. The tide was settled a bit earlier this year than it was last year, and I think we had 8 teams still with a chance going into the last round. But the last round was a terrific round also. I think it's if you look back over the season, the fact that the side that's won the Wooden Spoon has finished with 3 wins and had a percentage in excess of 60, I think that says a lot about the league. Perhaps the top end, the top sides might have had 3 losses. Would have been really good, but that's not to deny Sale. They've been fantastic and deserved a 17-1 record. But great last round. The 2 big games there. Maffra, which really surprised me with the manner in which they beat Traralgon to clinch 3rd place. They're a very proud club, and they don't give up their aspirations of winning premierships too easily, and obviously showed that last week. The other one, Sale and Leongatha under lights, well, just sort of incredulous when I saw the scores of that game, and for Leongatha not to kick a goal. You often see in country football sides don't kick a goal, but not in a major league where a side's sitting second on the ladder and has got a record of 15 wins and 2 losses. So it says something about Sale, I think.
Yeah, no, look, they look very good, but I think, look, the important, Warragul, we should make note of that. Last 2 years they've won 1 game per season. This year they've managed to win 5. It's only got them off 1 spot off the bottom, but it shows you how close it is. But to win 5 games, I think that's a great, it's 5 times what they've done over the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I think they're on the up, and next year I think you'll see they'll do a fair bit better than 5 wins.
I think Ash Green, we know he's a successful coach and he demands success. So yeah, obviously Warragul will improve. Moe trialled a couple of kids from minor leagues on the weekend, and I think they're on the right track. But yeah, at the moment, Sale look invincible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the netball, Naomi?
Well, it's been a really good season. Unfortunately, Moe didn't have an A grade this year, but hopefully next year we'll see them back and we'll have the full 10 sides in our top grade. Apart from Warragul, who got close in a couple of games, it's been really close with the other 8 sides, games that could go either way, and the top 5, the top 3 especially, will be really interesting to see what comes of them during the final series. I expect that we'll have some close games.
And your team, the Hawks, come off round 18 with a loss to Morwell.
Yeah, Morwell just came out with nothing to lose, played a brilliant game. Still had opportunities to make finals depending on what happened with other results, and on the day they were definitely the better side.
Well, they certainly were. I think they won by about 11, wasn't it?
It was 12, so you were pretty close.
Okay. All right, we'll get into the qualifying final, which is on Saturday at Morwell, and we have Leongatha playing Maffra.
Yeah, well, it's sort of become a lot more interesting than I'd thought. And actually, I expected Traralgon to get over the line last week and get through to the qualifying final, but that didn't happen. And Maffra produced the goods when it counted. They're a side that really does plan well against their opposition, and I think Leongatha can expect that this week. It'll be very interesting to see how Leongatha bounces back after the effort last week and say, yes, well, that's against Sale, and everybody's had trouble against Sale. Maffra, I think, have had a couple of stitch-ups by them. So it looms as a very, very interesting game now. I don't know, I think this is a bit of a toss-up. Adrian Bergil came back, made a contribution with 3 goals. I think from Leongatha they've got to... both sides are capable of big scores, and I think for Leongatha they've certainly got to look at how they handle Daniel Bedgegood, because he's just been terrific all year. As in a lot of respects, carrying Maffra's forward. Adrian, of course, anything can happen with him, and they have a number of other guys who chip in and kick goals. Lee and Gather, with Dwayne Holt and Jake Best have led their goal kicking, and I think they've kicked 125 between them for the year. But they also have other guys who chip in and get their 2s and 3s at times. So if we can get a good day, this could be really a terrific game to watch. Maybe a real shootout. It's at Morwell, and the condition there will be absolutely superb. But the ground was superb last weekend. I'll go with Leongatha on their record over the year. I think they've been a bit more consistent than Maffra. I don't make that prediction with any great conviction.
Well, it's interesting to see Maffra's best, Cal Porter, who's had a great year, Benny Coleman, who's a terrific player, but also two names there that sort of haven't been there much this year, Hayden Burgill and Callan Kalora.
Well, they're both great players and proven great finals players. I think with Hayden, he's got crook knee, there's no question about that, but his competitiveness is such that, he's just a winner, he wants to win. Callan's the same, spent time out with his shoulders, but he's come back last 2 or 3 weeks in pretty good touch for the finals, and him around the midfield and around those stoppages, he's a very strong man in that area and brings the others in. So they're a couple of really, really important players for Maffra for the next month.
Well, it could come there. I mean, you made a point of saying how the coaching or Maffra are good at planning, but having worked with Hayden Burgill over the last few years at interleague level, he does plan thoroughly. So we actually have an experienced coach against a coach who's in his first year, having played AFL. But it could actually, a lot of could be decided on moves that coaches make, and Hayden Burgill's very experienced in finals.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be so much the moves they make. I think it'll be the matchups and just the tactics of who they lead away from the ball and things like that that'll be important. But it'll be interesting to see how Will Thursfield handles his first final as a coach. Be great. I'm sure he'll be looking forward to it, and sure it'll be a great game.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Maffra. I suppose I'm going on past history more than anything else, but I just see those names, Coleman, Kalora and Hayden Burgill, Adrian kicking goals, Jones sneaking in. I'm going to go for Maffra, to be different to you.
Yeah, right.
Fair enough. We'll go to the netball now.
So the netball is the replay of last year's grand final between Druin and Traralgon. Both teams had really slow starts to the season and have sort of fought back, and yet both teams had pretty ordinary round 18 matches. So both teams will have to really refocus and come into this match. Honestly, I'd like to say Druin, but every time I seem to tip them, they lose. So I'm going to go Traralgon, so that reverse psychology says they'll end up winning anyway.
That's quite interesting. So what are the vital matchups there?
I think it'll come down to how well Traralgon's defence can stop Sky in goals, how well she's shooting, how well we can stop Stacey O'Brien through the mid-court, and just the fitness and whatever of Druin's defenders, whether or not we've got them all on at 100% fitness.
So is that a question against Traralgon's fitness, or you just believe that Druin's fitter?
No, Druin have had some injuries, so whether or not they're back at 100% fitness, not the fitness side of either of them, but
match fitness.
Match fitness, yeah. If they can be back at 100%, I think that Druin's defence is stronger than Traralgon's attack.
Okay, well I'll go for Traralgon in this one as well. All right, we'll go to the Sunday, the elimination final. As we know, the loser here is Mothballs, but what a great little rivalry here, Traralgon hosting Morwell.
Yeah, well, it is great rivalry that's been going on, forever and a day, I suppose. Traralgon over history. I imagine has got more silverware than Morwell has, but yeah, great rivalry. This weekend happens to be Traralgon has the home ground advantage. Not that I think that's going to matter a great deal. When they're 1-1 this year, but the home sides have won those games. I think the real telling factor in this game is the late season injuries for Morwell. You know, both sides are coming up losses last week. Morwell lost to Druin narrowly, Traralgon well beaten by Mafra. But Morwell, when you've got Jack Brown out, you've got Manon Johnson out, who was the other big misser? Oh, Adam
Bailey, that's
Bailey.
a big loss.
Yeah, Devon Suter and Ryan Tatterson's been out since early in the year. So they just don't have the depth to carry, 5 guys missing in there, five very good players. And that showed against Druin last week. And I just think it takes them in a bit undermanned against Traralgon, who had been travelling along nicely until
the trip to Mafra.
Yeah, until it's just whether it was a slip up or whether they're not as good as we think. But they've got a very, very similar side to last year. They seem to be able to refresh their side every year with a couple of new guys and a couple going out, like Sam McCulloch, who captained them last year's out, and one or two others. But
I think they've got about 6 or 7 actually.
have they?
Yeah.
But if it's
But some great kids.
yeah, and still some great players that I expect, given the circumstances that Morwell finds itself in, it's at Traralgon, that Traralgon will get away with this one and front up the next week against either Leongatha or Mafra.
Yeah, well look, again, I'm like you, it's a pity with Morwell just copying those injuries, but I'm in the middle of reading Jim Stein's book at the moment, and I reckon Jack Brown will do as Jim Stein's and actually front up on Sunday.
I reckon you're going to say you're going to die.
No, I don't say that. I think I read a couple of chapters to Jack on Saturday night, so I reckon Jack has taken that on board.
He's walking around in a moon boot.
I realise that.
Not walking around, he's hobbling around in a moon boot.
I still reckon he'll make I reckon he'll run out on that ground on Sunday. There you go. I just think that Jack will make a miraculous recovery for this big game.
Well,
I'm going for Traralgon, but with Morwell, it's just a pity they've got injuries. But I reckon Jack will pull on the boots on Sunday.
You've made some dumb statements.
But anyway, good luck, Jack.
Yeah, good luck, Jack.
All right?
Yeah, we're ready.
You're good, you're done? No worries. So this week's match on Sunday, Wonthaggi and Sale. Sale had a really good first half of the season. When they met top side Leongatha in the first round, they lost by a goal. They played them in round 18 and had a 50-goal loss. So they've really dropped their form. It's a young side, and I think that's sort of starting to play on their mind. They've had a couple of losses over the last few weeks and don't have necessarily the years of experience and whether come finals they'll really face the pressure. On the other side, Wonthaggi is an experienced side. They've made finals a few years, never really passed, your bottom sides of finals, but they've got the players there that have finals. But I think it'll come down to which of the 2 goal attacks can have more of an impact on the game and which of the sides can get started first, because I think whichever team gets the early run on that, it's going to be the team that'll go through. But I expect that it'll be Wonthaggi.
Okay, no worries. Well, I'll go for Wonthaggi as well there. Keith, you got any pick there, or are you non-committal?
Non-committal.
Okay, well we got the
Bit of reverse psychology somewhere there, like women and reverse psychology, they just go together, don't they?
Oh, I don't think we'll make those statements on that's too late now.
Anyway, I think we're looking forward to a great final series and
Geez, I hope Andrew Demetrio isn't watching this. Anyway,
we're not going to talk about the AFL,
we got the finals coming up, and look, one of the things the league's doing is having a bonus bucks. Anybody that paying patron that comes into any final in Gippsland League they've got the opportunity to win $250. All they've got to do is put their name and details on a form that'll be at the gate, and at half time the name will be drawn out. You've got 15 minutes to collect the money. If it isn't collected, a jackpot's till the grand final, and if it doesn't get collected on grand final day, it'll go to the Vernon Fund. But there's a chance for any paying patron, $250 on call each Saturday. So something different for the league, but just
Each
something.
Saturday or each game?
Sorry, each final. 2 Saturdays, 2 Sundays, and then the last 2 Saturdays. So there's 6 chances there. Okay, thank you. That's it from us, and hopefully my voice is a little bit better next week. See you later.